Check, check, check. Okay. I'm doing an audio flavor test because I lent my daughter my headphones I use, and she broke them. They were kind of old anyway, but now I don't have a replacement. I'm trying to see which one works. That's awful. Where's my lip balm? Work. Burt's Bees. Oh, it's new. I like that. Should be coming back from a ad break. Good old mid roll. And to see if which headphones will work best. And I don't know, do stuff. Something. Maybe I'll work on save stuff today. I'm working so long on the fishing. Feels like I should take a break from fishing. I post my updates. Stuff's just so obnoxious. Happy Easter weekend to those who is it celebrate? Do you celebrate Easter? Is it a celebration? These are not that great. Don't like. Bye-bye. That means these ones are not going to be any better. So we're just going to stick with the very old Apple ones. Things are just falling everywhere. I suppose Easter is supposed to be a celebration. I have my own opinions, though, as it relates to religion. So, listen, I know that I'm cynical, but also I'm very cynical. That good? But this is not a stream about religion, at least not religion that's spiritual. More about the coding religion. The religion of code and coding standards and how you must code exactly like me if you want to be a good developer. Just kidding. Not even close. I'm just very distracted today. Let me just stir up my tea. Little teaser. If you can hear that. Sorry if you can. Give it a little swirl. So I was thinking today, I could keep working on fishing. But I feel like the fishing mode right now, like the fishing work, is so laborious. A lot of change one thing, then test it. Burp a little bit. Change another thing, test it. Maybe another burp. I might fart once or twice. But it doesn't really feel like it's not really worthy of working on stream. I'm sure people are sick of seeing me work on this because I was supposed to be done with it last week and the week before that and the week before that. So, I mean, I can show where I'm at with fishing. And these gloves are just, I should just toss them. They're just completely falling apart. I guess I could show what I have on fishing. I did post it on the developer channel in our Discord. I was thinking maybe what I could work on today. Sort of out of the blue, but we had a person ask for some support. I realized that I made this system long ago to back up autosaves, but I never did anything with it after that. And a modern era of games that have saves, all the autosaves are just saved to infinity and beyond, right? Now, one of the problems I have is that our autosave system is very aggressive. It literally saves after every entrance or exit to a location. And so I can imagine that would fill up fast. I'm gonna. Let's look at fishing real quick. I'll show you guys where I'm at. Where's my button? That button. Here we are. Turn that way. Is that better? Okay. We can see where we're at with with fishing. Basically, I guess theoretically I could be pretty much done with it, but in the process of being pretty much done, Jacob said, "Oh, it'd be kind of nice if you could see the fish that you caught." I said, "Yeah, it would be, but then wouldn't it make sense if I just leave the fish attached to the hook when it grabs the hook? Like, wouldn't that make the most sense?" So in the process of doing that, I'm like, okay, can I get away with doing this without having to figure out physics? I realized I probably have to figure out physics. So I had to like convert the line and the hook to actually use physics. And then just today I kind of got this. Hey, Killboy, thanks for the sub. I got this hook thing working. Oh, where's it? Ugh. And so like now it's using physics to add or remove force from the bobber. I don't really like how the bobber is moving right now, but so like the work here now is going to be a lot of fine tuning, making sure the fish looks like it's hooked properly. Maybe what I should do is just make the hook go away. Maybe instead of attaching the fish to the hook, I just attach the fish to the line, presuming the fish swallows the hook, right? Even if it's a tiny fish, that would be really funny. So all it is like the fish attached to the line there. That would make sense, I think. I think trying to attach it to the hook at the same time is just weird, and I think the hook doesn't really help anything. Yeah, so that's where we're at with fishing. I have to go immortalize you in code in a second, Killboy. I just don't feel like anything I do with this right now, I just don't feel like it's very interesting. Not just for people to watch, but for me to work on while I'm streaming. It's just yeah, that's what I was gonna. That's what I was thinking, Killboy. I literally was thinking it right a moment before. I didn't really consider it yet, but as I was watching, I was like, yeah, why do we even have the hook there? It doesn't even make sense. So I can make that happen. That's pretty easy. And I can actually save myself an extra portion of code. The one thing I want to look at before I move on from fishing. Oh, wait, let me go immortalize you first. Today is 3/30/2024. I wonder if it's gonna it's gonna be so used. Kilroy. Hey, thanks, Kilroy. For the 30. And polluting basically all of our code. The code polluter. Code polluter himself. Killboy Game. What we're doing? Fishing. I wanted to look at the hook and line. Hook, line, and sinker. Okay. So see this? This is what I want to see. I wanted to see how, what the tension becomes. Unfortunately, oh yeah, so tension actually increases. It increases when I release the reeling. That is quite strange. Oh no, okay. It's just because it's not updating. It's very interesting to see how the tension... I wanted to figure out a better way to affect tension. I feel like tension should not increase if you're not reeling. Because it's just letting it out, right? We don't currently have a hold button. which Jacob's like, well, we don't want to add a bunch of buttons. Like, listen, I've already had all this complexity. Maybe we do have a button that lets it just hold. You know, just hold on to the line or something. But I definitely have to figure out how the tension calculation is going to work now. But it's kind of cool because now all I'm doing is adding or removing force. If you reel, it adds force to the bobber, and if you let it sit there, the fish will add force to the end of the line and pull on it. Clearly, the fish is not moving as we want it to yet, but we'll get there. Cool. Anyway, here we go. He's a little hot. So yeah, so I was thinking of taking a break and seeing if I can get auto saving working consistently. But before I do that, I want to figure out an answer to a question. I believe every save file has different amount of content. Okay, hold on. Let me go see if I can find saves that have more content. Yeah, so like a save file can be like 30 to 35 kilobytes of data, I guess. 34 kilobytes? Gosh, I don't know what the maximum would be. $36 kilobytes? What should I do? I could just sort of estimate like 50 kilobytes of data. How many kilobytes are in a megabyte? 1024? Is that right? So $10.24 divided by 50. So every 20 save files is a megabyte-ish. Maybe a little less than that, or more than that. But that's where I'm a little concerned. Like, okay, so how many possible save files would you end up with? A autosave happens right now on every map change. If we never delete autosaves, that will fill up very fast. Is it the same scale? So it's 1024 megabytes in a gigabyte? Is that right? I don't know how the math on that works. Just 1,000? Literally just 1,000? No, a gigabyte is equivalent to 1024. Yeah, okay. Because it's base 2. What did Reddit say? This is something you can answer with a basic search on the internet. Hard drives use a decimal. Okay. It's 1,000, right? We can just use 1,000. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't have to be exact. So if it's 20-ish save files per megabyte, what's a reasonable number? I mean, you can have 2,000 autosaves at 100 megabytes. That's still a lot, though. It really feels like the two things we would need. We either need a limit on the number of saves, autosaves, or we reduce how often autosave happens. This is probably why I didn't do this before. This isn't really a technical question. I can just make it save autosaves to infinity and beyond. But it feels like I should not have an autosave on every map shift. Maybe I should have an autosave on a time system. Or on some other metric. Like it won't autosave every time you shift. Okay, I'm gonna pick up. I'm gonna do some notes. I don't know what this is. I didn't plan for this one. I just didn't want to work on fishing. So in my brain I said, I know. I'll work on autosaves. But I didn't do any other thought process around it. So let's see here. Developments. Here's my development page. Oh my gosh, I'm blinded. Why am I not using dark mode? Dark mode engage. Do I have save system in here? I don't think I ever had to use a save system here. Let's see here. Okay. Planning for how to enhance the system for better auto save capabilities for lazy players. Just kidding. Currently we only have a single auto save slot, which can be problematic. Here. Need a better way to save a history. Players never lose. Now, if I don't have thoughts from people here on what they'd like to see, I might actually chat GPT it in order to get some kind of thought process. And actually, you know what I could do? Instead of chat GPT, there is Copilot chat. And I could just use that and see how this works. I'm not finding Copilot chat to be quite as useful as ChatGPT, which is weird because it uses OpenAI. But for some reason, it doesn't seem to be as helpful. It gives me some answers, but I really have to extrapolate a lot more. But we can try this. Okay. So I'm also going to open the save system. I think it's like game not game engine. Game data manager, is that what it is? Yeah, it is game data manager. Okay. Then we have our save system, right? All right. I'm looking at our game. Hey, Goothanger, how's it going? I'm doing good. Can't stay for long, but want to drop in. It's been a bit. It has. Did I say your name right, or is it Gut Hanger? Goothanger or Gut Hanger? I've really got the Goothanger right now. It must be Gut Hanger, right? That's got to be what it is. Thanks for popping in. Gut Hanger, but it's okay. I know, you can't have Goothanger because there's not another H in there. So, I hope you're well too. Sorry, I've been working on a fishing system. Which did I show it to you? I know you can't stay long, but I could show it to you if you're interested. Why is my it's not working? Come on. For some reason it wasn't picking up my keyboard input. This is the fishing system. Whee! Obviously, the placement of the fish needs to be better. This is the fishing system. The new fishing system I've been working on. And I've got, like I've done it where I started with the reeling system. So right now the reeling part is being reworked. I had it where it was just like the current game where there was just like a little icon that moved, and then I made that middle section with all the fish. I'm like, well, I should make the fish connect to the line. Then I was like, well, then I should use physics. So just like I keep scope creeping this, but I feel like it's iteratively getting better. It's just a lot of little tedious work. So this is sort of the current state of affairs. Previously, before I started into doing this physics things, I could actually catch a fish and then it would let me start over again or whatever. But right now I'm kind of stuck because I'm trying to make that work. But I'm not worried about that at the moment. I'm trying to work on the save system. Because I just spent so much time streaming fishing, I should do something slightly different. That's all game dev. Yeah. I mean, it's just you keep iterating, and sometimes I feel like it feels like impossible hill to climb, and I just keep banging my head against it, or I change my approach, whatever. But in the save system, I'm trying to make it so we retain the history of all the auto saves because we weren't doing that. So, well, I mean, I retain the history, but not in a way the users can get it. So I was thinking maybe I'll try to do that tonight. We'll see. I'm trying to come up with the best ideas to go with, though. Want changes to how it works so that we retain auto over time. So right now I'm writing out my ideas in Copilot because I want to come up with the best way to do it. Currently, the game is auto-saved on every map load. This works because we don't every save, but however, if we want to keep an extended history, then we need to come up with a better way to determine when to auto. As I spoke with you, I was going to work on my game. You haven't done it. You have to begin as life caught me up. Now I'm taking my first step. What are you doing? What do you want to share? First step into your game, not knowing what it has become a bit. Hold on. I'm going to work on my game, but I haven't yet. Begin as life caught me up right now and taking that first step into your game, not knowing what it will become. Yeah, I know. It's, you know what? I get it. You know, and some people say just make something. Don't even make your game. Just make a thing, right? Is usually the best way to start. Just make a thing. Don't make your game. Pick something stupid, something that you think, I'll never make this into a full game. I'm just going to toy around with an idea. And you just make it. But life is hard. Life has a lot of things happening. I know I have a lot of life stuff going on too. Trying to work full time and do this and family vacations and all that stuff. A lot going on. So I'll be curious to see what you got when you want to share. I'd love to see more. However, if we can keep it, does it come up with a better way to determine when to autosave? Or to make this easier on me, don't want to fundamentally change check for autosave map load. Just want to alter the side autosave needed. Looking for some questions on options that may make official thoughts are as follows. One. Well, my game I'm wanting to do, zombie game. Did you have? I don't remember who showed me what. I remember someone showing me like a first-person shooter with zombies. Was that you or is this somebody else? Haven't done my solo used to make game jam games, but now I don't even do that, and I feel like I lost any and all. So, well, it doesn't hurt to start over. The hard part of is if you're doing like completely solo, because completely solo, you gotta do everything, or you got to purchase all the assets or whatever. Like if you're doing the development and the art, that's a lot of work for one person. We can't do it. I mean, like Jacob and I are considering adding people to the team somehow, but we don't have a lot of money to do that. So we're trying to figure out the best way, because it's a lot. I mean, like I've been working on fishing. Because I've been working on fishing, I can't do anything else. I mean, I can, but it's like I gotta divide my time, and it's so thinly sliced right now. People were teasing me like, "Why are you working on fishing after 6 weeks?" Because it's not 6 straight weeks of me working on it. If I were working on fishing every single day, it would have been done by now. I have some assets, but I'll not be complete. Will not be completed. So I will need to edit model. Yeah. That's fine. I mean, like learning how to do all the things I think is great. The more you divide the slice of the pie, the more there is that has to go around. But I am convinced that outside of the occasional solo indie dev that just like makes out like gangbusters, the more successful people are the ones that create teams. And some of these teams, it amazes me how they make it happen. Like Sabotage Studio, I still think about I watched their little documentary, just like the way the guy in charge brought people together and created a team, and they're just like, YOLO, let's do this. It's just so amazing to me. It seems almost impossible sometimes. I look through the following. Save after X amount of map loads. Save if there is a X% change in data. Relevant player. Data. Threshold. 3. Save after a certain amount of time, like if it's been more than 5 minutes. Save after the next. Every 5 minutes? That wouldn't be bad, right? Like, save after we've loaded a certain number of maps, or insert your ideas here. I also think we should have no-brainer autosaves. That is, for instance, when you quit the game, it should autosave. Question mark? Exit to the main menu. What are your ideas? Question mark. Anyway, well, I hope Guthanger that we'll get to see some more of your options. I mean, I want to see what you come up with when you have it. Gosh, I love ChatGPT. It's so supportive. I don't know if you guys can read what it's saying, because I don't think I can even zoom this in. Can I zoom this in? Not letting me do any sort of zoom. I'm surprised that there isn't like a zoom option. Oh, it is. Resize. No? Well, whatever. I guess I have to read it my own. Let's see. I like us. Oh, it gives me 5, 6, 7, 8. I get it. Here, save after a significant event. Right. Well, the problem with the significant events is I would have to. I don't have any way to infer. I'd have to manually do that. right? Which I can. I mean, I can just make an auto. I might even have an autosave node. Do I have an autosave node? Yeah, I have an autosave node. So I have a node that we can manually put in there at specific points. Only issue I have is still really new. As I started in 2022, brand new, no coding knowledge. Yeah, it stopped in 2023 as life took a bit of almost. Yeah. I mean, you know, I'll tell you this. What's kind of funny to me. I have an advantage because I've been coding for many years. But even when I started developing, I'm still learning things new today. I've been game developing in Unity for about 4 years, and I just now am really playing with physics with the fishing game. So I don't really have a fundamental grasp on the physics components in Unity and how they work. So I have an advantage, but a lot of it's still for me brand new. It's still me getting the feel for things. I am overjoyed with ChatGPT because it fills knowledge gaps for me, and lets me make progress without having to hunt through the internet to find answers to things with half-done tutorials and stuff. It doesn't fix everything, and it certainly I've overused it sometimes and learned the hard way, but it definitely is much better than previously. Save based on progress. Yeah, so the player levels up, I could do that. I think that would be a good one. So whenever the player levels up, autosave. I use UE, but as much as I want C++ in my game, I think best bet is Blueprints, as that's what I know. And yeah, I don't like C++. I just don't. And I did I generated a custom blueprint node because I wanted to see what the C++ was, and it was just looked like such a mess. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I could do it. I don't want to do it. Save based on the game state. If your game has different states like combat, exploration. Yeah, I could save right before a battle, I guess. You said autosave when trended, but that wouldn't make a lot of sense because you might get forever stuck in the battle. For example, you could autosave when the player exits combat. I could do exiting combat, though. That wouldn't be a bad idea.
I got so good at using the keyboard with my hands, I practiced and became an expert with my feet. I'm a pro toe typer. Nazi. Enjoy your horn of shame.
Someone said, I like the little comment on his streaming avatars that said, Motzi, about your joke. I dig it. Great. That was an old joke. Not what I was expecting. Okay, so I like the idea of saving after battles. Save based on the player location. Okay, I'm so curious what people would want. I don't have a good way to infer autosaves. Everywhere. I'd have to go and... If I want to make this something that works by default, but doesn't spam autosave all the time, I don't have the greatest way of doing that. I don't think. Is there something that I can use? I could use... Excuse me. I could use map naming. But I think that people would want... Okay, let me go into the game. Yeah. I mean, I was thinking more aggressive than 15 minutes, to be honest. But, so right now, the current autosave only fills one slot. I'm going to make a whole series of slots for that. But, every time you go, right now, every time you transition to another map, it autosaves. And I think that I want to maintain that trigger. The place in the code where autosave is triggered, I want to maintain that piece of code to start with. but I want to change how we decide whether an autosave happens or not. And I don't have, like I said, I don't have a good way to detect, for instance, if I'm going from Summiton to the plains. Oh yeah, you haven't seen the game? Have I not shared the game with you? Were you hanging out back when we were doing the voxel art and stuff? Oh, this music is Harris Heller's whatever stuff. Yeah, this is Alterium shift. 2.5D. Yeah, we must have gotten another 78%. Wow, we're working our way up. We might make it positive someday. I hope. I mean, mostly positive isn't bad. It's been months. Yeah, I've been working on this game for 3 years now. It's been a long time. But I've been really, like, seriously working on it for the last 2. I like how I started to do this documentation on what I was going to do with saves, and then I just completely got sidetracked. So there's a couple ways I could automatically save. I think the one problem we're going to find is if you do autosaves too infrequently, you'll run into the same problem that you get, where someone's going to get really pissed because it didn't autosave. And I think, like, maybe I don't want it to save. Oh, really? Why? Why would you want to learn Unity, Killboy? Why would you torture yourself like that? Especially if you're comfortable with Unreal. Oh, my ear hurts. Like, maybe I could do it. Man, there's a number of places I could just auto-trigger it. Like when a quest is complete. That could be one. You could always autosave on quest complete. I'm just feeling like, okay, let's talk. Let's settle on some rules, and then we'll see how it plays out. My ear hurt. I think saving every 5 minutes would be okay as an autosave technique. Is better for 2D? Yeah, I've heard that. So if I saved every 5 minutes, autosave style, and the game is going to be like a 20-hour game, maybe 30-hour game, that's actually not aggressive enough, right? 6 saves? No way. No, 5 minutes. 5 minutes, not 5 hours. Hold on. So it's 12 saves every hour. I mean, that's a good number of saves, right? And it technically wouldn't save every, well, yeah, it would save every 5 minutes if I did it that way. 360 saves. We'll say it's 50 kilobytes per save. So that's 18,000 kilobytes divided by 1024, which is megabytes, will give us 17 megabytes of data. Hey, Saro. I mean, Killboy, I know you can do Unity. I was just giving you a hard time after all the crap you gave me about Unity. And it's C#. I mean, come on. Versus C++. You can deal with C++. So, like, 17 megabytes of saves. Not bad, right? That's nothing these days. Right? Because we did it reverse. We said like 300. So 300 saves times 50 kilobytes. Yeah. So it's really not that bad. I think we could save every 5 minutes. Approach. Question and answer. We need multiple. I'm going to have to uninstall AS. It's going to kill my hard drive. Well, that's only because you were doing Unreal development. Once you switch to Unity, you'll have plenty of space. We need multiple ways to save. To cover certain scenarios. Below are the approaches. And actually, I think if I do multiple ways, I don't save every 5 minutes. I think every 10 minutes would be fine. We'll start there. Auto save on map transition after every 10 minutes. 2. Autosave after every quest completion. Although the problem is we can't do it when the quest is complete, so we're gonna have to do like a flag or something. Set a flag. Do the autosave after a map. Very true. 50 gigabyte install versus 5 versus 50. Yeah. I've tried Unreal a couple times and my hard drive's like, I don't like you. Auto save after request completion. Auto save after every battle. Direct save on map. Well, let me think. Again, no. I think what we're gonna do, to keep it simple, we will just flag a need for auto save. All auto saves will happen on map. And the reason I have to do that is because there are some battles that include like a cinematic sequence right after. And I think if I auto-saved after every battle, we'd run into some problems. But I do know that we already auto-save after every map transition. So we wouldn't necessarily have an issue there. But basically what'll happen is if 10 minutes are up or if a quest completion or whatever, it'll trigger a flag. This has to be 10 minutes active. But like, if you're sitting in the same area forever and you're not doing anything, I don't think we do an autosave. Like if you just sit in town. I.e., if you are just sitting down and not actually taking action, it won't flag. Maybe? Yeah, well. YOLO? I don't know if it really matters. Save. Quest completion. 10-minute autosave. Character. Yeah, character level up. Right. On map transition. After quest completion. After every battle. After most fights. And then manual auto saves we need. This'll be the flavor we need to do. Like when we go and audit our story and stuff, we'll have to go back and drop that node. Let's see. So I couldn't do it when quitting the game. Like if you just like Alt F4 out of the game, I couldn't autosave. But I could do it when you when doing exit game to go back. Because the problem is you get the same problem if you like Alt F4 you could be in a weird scenario where an autosave wouldn't make sense. Hey, Tom Sutton. How are you? Hello, video gamer. I was lurking your stream, and then you raided somebody else. So then I wasn't lurking your stream anymore. Okay. I think that's an adequate set of autosaves, right? So the only one that I have to force is this one. All the other ones, I'll set a flag. If the flag has triggered, then we autosave. And then I have to change how autosaves work, right? So this is just making sure that I fundamentally understand the approach. When to save. User. Eventually I want to add quick saves, but I don't think that's as important right now for me to worry about. A quick save would be nice. You treat like a manual save, almost like an auto save, but the player gets to trigger it. But with this sort of robust auto saving, I don't think it'll be as important. Current interface stay mostly the same, but we'll want to add a sub tab for auto saves. Autosaves will have infinite plots and manual saves. I think, do I worry about manual saves right now? I feel like you don't need more than 30 manual slots per character. I can always extend it, but I just feel like it's okay to put a limit on the manual. Approach. Later, we may want a quick save option. Okay. Like, we could have a quick save that triggers an autosave, right? But, you know, if someone starts spamming it, they're going to end up with hundreds of save files. So I guess it's their call, but I don't know. There's a sort of a risk of causing problems on the other direction. If I don't have a way to limit that, that'll be a problem. Okay. I think that's good enough. Publish. Yes, anyone can look at this. Anyone who has access to our space, which is me and okay, so I think I have the general idea of what I'm going to do here. Hey chicken, what's up? So we need to do. Let's go look at how we auto save. Right? I want to start with where we put stuff. So like I have max autosave files I have to get rid of. Autosave / blank. I'm being lazy. I just need to get the directory. Okay. So I'm gonna have to change how autosaves work. But the directory has. I'm gonna do this. Right now we have an autosave directory. I feel like I have to do something where I like. Maybe I'll just clear it out. I mean, right now people don't have a way of accessing this data. The nice thing to do would be to make this information recoverable. I guess I don't have to worry about this. just leave the files there. I don't have to delete them. They're going to have some garbage files, but I don't have to completely get rid of them. So let's do that. They don't have to make a new folder or anything. So we have autosave as a method. We don't really care about the file. The date file name or anything. I'm nicer than you are? Well, you know. So what I can do, autosave backup. Okay. I'm just going to fundamentally change how this code works. I don't care about file count anymore. But I do need to figure out how I'm going to save it yourself or not. Yeah, but Killboy, that's not how everyone operates. I was joking with somebody who had submitted a bug request about the saves. And I said something like, well, back in my day, I had to manual save uphill both ways in the snow. Because it's like old guy joke. Yeah, it is foreign to me not to have a desire to manually save. Gotta hang your head out. You said you weren't going to stick around, so thanks for sticking around for as long as you did. I hope you have a good night, and go do your thing. Give me an update when you have actual game dev started, or whenever you want when you're trying. It's an RPG, yeah. I get it, but listen, the thing that convinced me was actually my son, who's addicted to Zelda games. Apparently we're going to have an ad in about 4.5 minutes, FYI. He's addicted to like Zelda games, and I've started to try to play Tears of the Kingdom because I want to be able to connect with him a little bit better. 1 to 10 business days. Oh wait, I don't have a business guest. It will be later. You take as long as you want. And as I'm playing Zelda, I realize there is a manual save option, but there's also an autosave that pretty much makes it so you don't really need to worry about manual save. And watching my son play, he just relies on autosave. He doesn't do anything that is remotely close to manual saving. And if we want other people to play this game that aren't just old fogies like me, probably need to support users who would expect autosave. Okay, so I'm sure that somebody made a game that you do have autosaves. Why are you guys trying to talk me out of doing autosave? Why are you guys hating on autosave? Oh yeah. Well, the engine itself doesn't have autosave. The tools you're using don't have autosave, but the game should. The game should have autosave even if the tools don't. Kind of the classic programming problem is the tools. I mean, tools have gotten better now, but they're so like antiquated compared to the expectations we put on. We're put to make things user-friendly for users. But the tools that we use as developers are never as good as what we're expected to create. Okay. Oh, okay, good boy. I mean, I don't know what are we talking about anymore? Okay, so what I need to do is name my files something else, I think. I think what I'll do is I'll name them all autosave something. So every autosave file now moving forward will have an autosave at the end. And then I need to somehow determine what to call the file. or I could put like a timestamp at the end of it. Would that make more sense? Excuse me. Would a timestamp be unique enough? Theoretically, it should be, unless someone goes and like changes the time on their computer, and then that's their choice, right? Gun hanger. I'm not holding you. I'm headed up now. I have to think like Force or Skyrim. Force and manual saves occasional, but Skyrim's manual. I mean, I don't know what to say. I get it. I'm actually leaving. Quit making me stay. Gun hanger, please don't leave us. Why would you leave? What a jerk. Didn't go. Get out of here. What would I call it? So a timestamp isn't necessarily unique enough, but I suppose I could try to see if the file exists before I save it. And if it does, I can just like append a number. Like I can just keep trying to, and I think that maybe that's good enough. I don't need the files to have indexes. We don't care about indexes. So I'm actually, for autosaves, I'm gonna have to get rid of the index number. Yeah. I'll probably just do an actual timestamp instead of putting the, properly date formatted time. I'd want the date though. Bye, cutting. Go do your thing. I'll be back. I'll be here on Tuesday. Should be Tuesday. Okay, so we're gonna do this. So we got the autosave directory. Save date name is just the name of like the date file. This is the file name pattern. Okay, then back to already there. Okay, so then let's go to where we name the file. So this is where we create the file name. Right, and that it starts with a number and underscore. So I can actually do you need to have it say autos save. Did I put autos somewhere in here? Autos ave. So here's where we're gonna do the prefix here. Prefix. Prefix. And then how do I get the file name? Oh, add time. I guess, Killboy, you don't have to worry about the ads. Not only are you special, but you're also special. File name. How do I get the file name? Where does that come from? No new keyboard is very sensitive. No new keyboard. No, is this a... This is like Confucius says? You're saying your new keyboard's very sensitive? Did I talk meanly to it? Oh, I see. Autos, because the S. Okay, okay. Confucius says no new keyboard is very sensitive. Like saying that any new keyboard you have is... What kind of keyboard did you get, Killboy? Is it like is it one of those split keyboards with the ortho linear keys? Oh man. Okay, so wait, this the file name comes from something else. Where does it come from? Auto save. Okay. Razer Black Widow 4. Oh, that's pretty. Well, spendy. Pretty spendy. Am I right? They call it a Black Widow because once you pay for it, you're going to get divorced if you're married. Or murdered. Oh, I mean unalived. I don't think you're supposed to say the other word I just said. That's spendy. I've been looking at ortholinear keyboards. I was hoping in Minnesota that they'd have a place I could go and like try them out, but it doesn't sound like mechanical keyboards are a thing where you can go to specialty shops, which is weird. I feel like there should be. Okay. So one of the problems is right now, auto save file name. I'm gonna do something. She got it for you. Yeah, I was just teasing anyway. Black Widow. For your birthday, Killboy? Is that what she got it for you? Should I be singing happy birthday to you? Is your birthday in March? Guess you wouldn't want to tell me, being that you're a security guy or something. I mean, like, you're into security. You're not insecure. You're very secure. Okay. So in this place, we need to... How do I load? I gotta see how I load files. Get save. So right now, as a Christmas gift, just still trying to get used to it. Okay. That's a long time to try and get used to a whole new gift. What's interesting is the way that their thing is set up. They use a decimal numeric value. So if I'm going to change how autosaves work, I'm also going to have to change how we load autosaves. And this does it like on a loop. Get save data, right? This is gonna have to be, I'm gonna have to figure out a different way to do autosave. You have trouble with E and S? Is it because you're not fast enough with your typey fingers? You gotta go type, 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 type. I'm assuming that's what it sounds like when you do it. Type, 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 type. That'd be funny if you could get feedback on your keyboard that actually makes a typey, typey, typey sound. Okay. Sorry. Totally distracted. So we have one fundamental problem here. The way the Smile Game Builder autosave formats are done, they do it by the index of the file. I don't think I have to do it that way. But I might need to. That was the other problem. Okay. So the reason that they do an index is because it allows you to then load a specific save file based on a save slot. So if I change how I do that for autosaves, I have to use some other kind of index that represents the file I'm going to load. Which could be the timestamp, but this is going to end up affecting some of my code. So if I did it numerically, first of all, I'd have to let the numbers be bigger than 2 digits. I work in network engineering and have done some automation coding through Ansible. Ansible! I remember Ansible. How would you describe game dev to someone with baseline knowledge of coding for other users? Oh boy. Well, I did Ansible and Puppet. I think it was called Puppet, right? Was it called Puppet? Yeah, it was Puppet. I didn't use Ansible much. I went with Puppet because I thought it was better, and it wasn't better. What drove you to Unreal in the first place? The blueprint. Yeah, that's fair. Typing it takes a lot, but there's autocomplete. So let me answer your question. If you're talking about working with Ansible, you're more of a systems engineer, right? So, like shell scripting and orchestration, platform orchestration, Perl, Python, probably, maybe you would have done some JSON, not JSON, some JavaScript, Node, or something, or even like what is that? What is that build system called? Anji, how are you? How have you been? Ages and ages ago. Say hi to Composey. I will. Thank you for the 20 bits. I hope that you've been well. They said network engineer. I sorry. Yes, you're right. They did say network engineer. Okay, Killboy, who never streams. You try getting up there and thinking and talking. So network engineering, without doing a lot of coding, depending on the platform you use, I'd say it's way different in many ways. The best way I could describe it for someone who's used to network engineering is game development is more of a self-contained problem scope. While you might use a couple technologies, it's like a single container, right? Like a single server or something. You only worry about that one box, and unless you're doing like MMOs or some like online game, it's much more discrete set of code that you have to worry about. So the problems you solve are different, because now you're making something that works on a bunch of different computers, as opposed to making something you deploy to one location and you have full control over the system that runs it. And forever indeed, I miss streaming, but it doesn't have any. Yeah, I get it. I hope that even if you don't have energy for streaming, you still have energy for other things. I have a software engineering experience. Oh, don't look at that encryption key. It doesn't matter, but I got to remember not to show that. I think I can hide it. It doesn't really matter. It's like the encryption's like just for the sake of having it. It's not super important. I just didn't want. I didn't want to have no encryption. It's sort of like people have doors, but doors can be gotten into easily enough, right? Anyway, well, now I don't have to worry about accidentally showing it. Sorry, I don't know if Gallifrey, you are still here or not, but hopefully I answered the question a little bit. I mean, the thing that I would say as a software engineer, why my mom keeps calling me. As a software engineer, the thing that I would say is different is when you think about like a web page, like doing web-based development, you worry about optimizing a single request. So how fast from when the user requests something on a page or an API can you get the response back to whatever client requested it? And in game development, you optimize every frame of the game. So every loop, essentially, you're trying to optimize the memory and the speed of that loop, because that's what determines frames per second. So every frame, right? Every frame, yes. I do have energy to work and all. Don't know why my mom is trying to call me. I think she's not meaning to, but she does not use her phone. That makes sense. I'm used to distributing changes to multiple nodes. I appreciate the insight. Game design is something I've considered. getting into and seeing what the difference are and where I would have to grow. I mean, have you done any programming? Like, have you used Java shell scripting? I mean, whether you're a network engineer or not, have you had to write code of any sort? Because I mean, the big thing is like, there's many different ways you can write code. Like Unreal, for instance, uses blueprints, which are just boxes and lines. It looks a little bit like, you know, not exactly like this, but this is the notion, right? Like a node-based flow of code. That makes sense. Let's see. You would excel in multiplayer once you get the basics down. Yeah. Like the doctor. Oh, I get it. Like Doctor Who. Yeah, like distributed systems and networking for MMOs. That's a huge deal. And there are people that probably come over from any sort of network engineering and go into game dev. And that's a whole different ballgame. But if you want to actually design games, you want to be a game designer where you're like writing code and making it, there's a whole different way of thinking of it. My mom didn't like call you or anything. She tried to call me 5 times. But then she hung up. I think she's just having problems with her phone. Sorry, I'm talking to my wife. All right, Anji. Oh, Anji. Wait.
Anji, hello.
Mhm.
Hello. Oh, Anj.
Posey's here. If you're still here, Anji.
Anj goes to bed.
Yes, they are. Oh, you're stepping on a.
Whoa, I didn't.
Don't step on it.
I'm guessing Anj is. Night on.
Look at your head. You're so short.
Anj is there. Anj, guess what? I am working on my second album, and Be the Light made it in. For you.
That's my wife. I'm Posey.
Yes, Be the Light is in the next album because I know how much you love it. And my friend Jerfo is the one producing it.
You're so short.
And it's
so funny.
super good. I like it a lot. Yes, exactly. Be the light. I know I'm short and I'm tired.
Okay, go to bed.
Go to bed.
Love you.
Good night, everyone.
Anyway. Good night, Composy. A lot of switches configs, which are type of code, is thought more plain language, minimal amount of Python. Well, I mean, there's a lot of different tools too. There's Godot, it's spelled. That's up completely free and open source, and that uses language that's closer to Python type structure. There's Unreal, of course. There's Unity. There's Game Creator. I think Game Creator. Or is it Game Maker? Game Maker. There's Construct 3. And others. Other names usually a Dalek for hire. Surprisingly few people catch the reference. Anyway, yeah, so there's a lot of different options, and I think the big trick is you just kind of have to start doing. I mean, network engineering, software engineering, I feel like there's a lot more need to methodically learn how it works. Game development's just like YOLO, just prototype the crap out of anything you want to do. Just literally like throw a bunch of stuff against the wall and see what sticks. That's what a lot of people do. And there's a lot of non-programming game developers out there. A lot of people who got in game development knew nothing about programming and then were able to make things and sell things. Some of them made games that made lots of money, right? But by the way, that's such a small fraction. I would never expect that to be the thing. Duct tape and effort until it works. Yeah, that's basically what it is, right? Because I have an engineering background or software engineering, I spend a lot of time trying to like make the code better. It's not something that most game devs do because you don't really need it. You know, solo developers or even small teams, you just don't need to have things be as nice. But I like it. I feel more normal in my head when I write things like that. And as I was just trying to, I mean, I'm not coding right now, but as I was trying to figure out in my code what I need to do here, I have a lot of stuff going on in my code in my head. What's game manager's save date name? Oh, that's just a date file. Okay. So I think I need to do something different with my file. That's what I was thinking. I was trying to figure out, how do I reference an auto save? Well, the great thing is autosaves don't have to be... You never override an autosave. That's probably a good one. Tell people to find the tutorial, try the big 3. Yeah. Thanks for the info. I probably should have led with this, but can you give an elevator brief on what your game is? Sure. I can actually give you... Oh, for that. It has its own elevator brief here. Retro inspired JRPG. It's inspired by games like Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy, you know, all the what I would consider classic for my age. The games I played as a teen and my partner played. It's got all the standard components of a classic retro RPG story. Although we have emphasized, you know, heavily on interactability in the world and choice-driven narrative that has flavor as opposed to strongly affecting the outcome, I guess. Like, there's games where you can make completely weird choices and end up in a completely weird place. And you can do a little bit of that, but our game's really just about the flavor and the feel. Like, the idea that your game is unique for you. There's other components in the game that make it unique as well. There's an encouragement to go back and play as other characters. There's 3 different characters that have 3 different storylines that all start in the same place. So yeah, it's our game. It's in active development, even though it's in early access for sale. It is also in progress in terms of full completion. But right now there's about 7 to 12 hours. Yes, wait, not 7 to 12 hours. There's probably about 7 hours of content. 7 to 10, 6 to 10, something like that. Depending on whether you play as all 3 characters or not. You do end up teaming up with the other characters down the road. Like those guys. Okay, so let me go look at my save. Save controller, save load UI. There is a demo. Thanks, Killboy. There is a free demo. It is the current version of the game. It's just the content only goes to the end of the first act. Thanks for the wish list. I appreciate that. We are very, we try to be very responsive on our Discord. If you do ever try it out, you want to come chat with us, we're there. In fact, the reason I'm working on this save system right now is because someone had a request, and I was like, oh, I should take a look at the save system. And I'm taking a small break from the fishing system. Okay, so here is a problem. My current save system UI has slots that are numbered. So I'd have to make a whole different set of slots for autosave. Maybe that's what I'll just do. So I think instead of using an index, I'll just use the file name. That's got to be the way I'm going to do it. So while I could start with the bottom up, I think I'm going to start with the top down. And then I'll probably bounce, you know, I don't know, I'm not going to get all this done tonight, but so let's go look at our save system. Where's our? No, it's in our window. I should probably mark. What color? What color? Yellow? Sure. Short-term memories. You're going to have autosaves and manual saves, right? No, I'm eliminating manual saves entirely. Did I tell you that? Okay, so this is our save load window. I think what I'm going to do, because I am changing how saving works, I think what I'll do is make a new window that I can turn on and off. That preserves what's working. If I like totally mess it up, I'm kidding, Killboy. Yes, we're keeping manual save. So I'm gonna change how this works. I think maybe what I'll do. You're killing me, Smalls. Sorry, not sorry. I think that's funny. Man, we gotta change our resolution on these. Okay, so anyway, what should I steal? I should steal something else. I'm not gonna use this one. So inventory view, no. Skills view, maybe. This might not be bad, actually. Kind of like the idea of this. Let me just hide for a moment. I'm gonna steal the skills view. Just gonna rip the entire thing up, off, whatever. Try to find my node there. It is. Hey, Rome? How are you? Wherever I may roam, don't know why I always sing that song when you show up. Okay, so why was this skills view here? Because the root container. It's not the same root. It's so weird that it does that when I copy and paste it. The failure of copy paste. Sorry for the burps. So we want this, instead of it saying skills, we'll say load. Just got this note on my phone that says my wife added Scrub Daddies to the reminders app for groceries. I don't know what a Scrub Daddy is. I don't know if I don't want no scrubs. I don't want no scrubs. Scrub Daddies. Scrub Daddies. Oh, they're just like little smiley face scrubber. Okay. Still kind of weird. Okay, so then we got background tint. Left column is this. We're going to make skinnier. Top bar is going to have the title of load. I think I already have a load entry. Load game. Let's call it load for now. Having a pretty good day despite some other stuff going on. Got majority of the walls framed up and on the Avery. And up on the Avery today. Okay. Aviary today. Would have gotten more done, but went and scored a sweet deal on something that was said. Oh, you gotta message me separately about it. Definitely balances out the fact that I don't have working water. No, the older quail are getting mature. Uh-oh. Trip was good. We're back, alive and well. We all have little mini colds, but otherwise fine, I guess. You know how that goes. My camera has a what, there you go. There's like a wire that I can't see things now. All right, so save window, left column, title, selection, characters. What I have to do now, meow, is get rid of the data I don't need. Now, I think that the all I wanted the images. Yeah, well, we have 3 kids, Rome. It's unavoidable. When you have 3 kids, you just can't not get sick. Just get rid of that data, I think. Then I should just be able to skinify this. I just realized, like, is this window actually appropriately sized? Fishing game. Why is it not showing up? Game window. Oh, I see. Fishing. I guess they are the same size. Weird. Well, you know what, Killboy? I don't care. I don't feel bad. I mean, I'm not like sick. I have a little scratchy throat. I don't get sick everywhere I go. I get sick a couple times a year. Few times a year, I'd say. That's the skills view, which we don't want the skill. We don't want this showing. It's gonna confuse me. We don't want that showing, and we want to go look at. Okay. So we have character portrait good, and then let's make the left column smaller. Something like that, I guess. What is it? 175? 150? I would prefer it to be as skinny as possible. We'll start with 150. You can always change it if I want. Right column gonna be 165, I guess. Now I'm imagining you in a hazmat suit or some sort of bubble. Good boy, protective suit to keep from getting sick. Yeah, I think that's your trick. Or Killboy's just in denial all the time. I just believe Killboy is just completely lying about it. Okay. Do we need a distinction? Yes, I think we need a distinction between manual and automatic saved, right? Problem is, the more you add to the interface, the more button pressing you have. Which someone like Killboy would be really annoyed about. But you know what? Who cares? This is Killboy. Fine. Okay, so we don't really need a category parent. We probably, I mean, we really just need like. I don't think I put the name of the character here. Right? They're going to be pretty obvious faces. Do I want? I think I want this at all. Pretty big space. Yeah, well, I was injected with the same stuff. Can't just be that. Here's our save window. We need to go to our other save window and steal. Let me figure out how I want this to be laid out. I kind of like the idea. Kind of like the idea that the saves are separated. But this is, I mean, this is a lot of space for a single save file. I guess the thing is, like, it does show you the characters that are in your party down here. So potentially it could be filled up pretty big. But for autosaves, we don't need this little bunts here. For manual saves, we would need the index that represents the save file. Kind of like separating them. So I think I'm just going to separate them. You sure about that? I spent a few years longer than you have in there. That's fair. That's fair. I was only there for 4 years, so. Okay, so let's go back to. Should I just add my own scroll? Well, actually, no, the scroll that I have in there should be okay. So we're going to go to content, viewport, save slot. I don't know what this is. Save slot scroll, sliding area. Now we go content, scroll view, viewport. Why is there more than one content? Let's see here, scroll view. So I think this is just like the slots, I guess. This is like the actual space that they have the scrolls. Okay, so it's a UI list. That's fine. Let's just paste it as a child. Get rid of that. We don't need this details thing at all. The details are in the slots. And then we're going to make right 0. Now we don't need the number. I'm just gonna have to get rid of the number slot entirely. And I also don't want the background on the viewport. Content. Overview. My only trick for not getting sick is that I'm really only around people. Yeah, your trick is just like stay away from people. That's not a bad trick. Just don't be around people. How you solve it? I try, I just can't avoid it. Okay, so now that I know more about layout stuff, I think I could probably do this a little better. First off, list item template, boom, okay. And then horizontal fit, vertical fit, I think that's okay. Save slot template. Right now it's top left. Can I change? Let me see. Did I have a? Oh, I have a vertical layout group. Okay. So right now, I think I can say nothing on the left. Control width. Nope. Don't control width. Uh-oh. I don't want to do an undo. How do I do the buffer? Do I cursor container? No. Bye-bye cursor container. I'll curse your container. Oh wait, maybe I want that there actually. I did catch COVID on my way back from Roatan, but I never had any symptoms, so that's good for you. I imagine it's the best for my immune system though. I'm not exposed to as many germs, but at least I get covered in dirt a lot. Never not Nevin. Never not Nevin? Got it. I know I'm giving you crap because of your keyboard. Okay, so then this is fine. This is supposed to be stretched. Child force expand? No, I don't need that. Horizontal fit. I guess I could do preferred size. What's causing it to be? Something else in here that's causing it. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. So what is causing this not to be fully stretched? Oh, I think I know why. Okay, so it's because the save slot template is not the thing that has the box. Okay, so then we need to, I guess, copy this one. Paste as new. Okay. That makes a whole lot more sense. Now we're making it take up the entire slot. Then I need, let's see, width. I don't really want the width to be. Why can't I make it control the width? I want this to control the width, but it won't do it. I need to remove this layout element, maybe? Anything else here that would change the size of it? I think it's because the child objects are not force expanding it. It has to have a, it must have to have a width in order to make it fit. It's very weird. I thought this was supposed to be able to expand it. Let's see, upper center. Okay, yeah. Layout element. No, okay, so maybe it did need a layout element actually. What I want to do is do like a flexible width. So you give it a minimum width, but I don't really want to do a minimum width. I feel like there's supposed to be a way that I can get this to like stretch to this space that I want. Maybe this is a layout element. All right, whatever. I'll just use them. I'll just use width. Screw it. I have to try sometimes though. I just have to see if I can do it. So 760 maybe? Like that. Not bad, right? Ignore the fact that it's weirdly offset. Just the scroll box. I don't want any top. There you go. Spots, viewport. About right. Good enough for RPG work. I mean, this stuff that's good change. Details left. Like this. It's fine. Auto saves versus non-auto saves. Okay, so then so when you choose a character, it'll go to autosave versus not autosave, and then you can choose which one. Or I could make it go straight to this one, and it defaults to autosave, because we know everybody will want it to default to autosave. That's a good idea. Good idea, Killboy. Killboy would be sad if it wasn't autosave as the default. But I could just put the... Okay, so we can even put the 3 characters here. I don't need this to be dynamic. I can go to character. Alphabetical. Atlas, Pirate, and Sage. There you go. That's not bad. A lot of little fingers. To me, it makes sense that you choose the character, then you choose your autosave. If you want, you go up to manual or automatic. Or I could just show, like, I could just mix them all. Show auto and manual save mixed together. What Zelda does. A little, like, auto save. I think that'd get annoying, though, for people who want to, like, strictly manage their auto save. I probably won't do that. Go to our left column. Up part. Let's steal our load message, I guess. That would be the left top. And then we will make these smaller. What do I want to do? I want to make the top bar not have an image. And we'll make it a horizontal layout group. I hesitate to stretch that across the whole thing. I don't have to fill the whole space. Center it again. Like middle center, and then don't force expand. I don't know. And then put some spacing in between, and make these marginally larger. It's kind of weird. I mean, I could make it, if I made it fill the whole space, though, the problem is, like, this might be better. I don't know. I don't know what I've been told. Boy's face is mighty old. More of like an army thing, but... Actually, I could just do... If I control the... Oh my god, don't do that. Don't control the child size. We'll just, we'll do it ourselves. There's a way I could make it stretch like I want, but it's fine. All right. Load. Do I even have an auto in here? Auto? Hey, look at that. It's like a car. Automatic and manual transmission. Look at that. Manual. I don't even know why I have the word manual in there. There we go. I think that will work. Make a whole new save load controller. I need to make a setup for the save slot. So for the numerical save slots, I'd have to be able to number them. Because I don't have to. It's not gonna hurt too much, would it? I have enough space. I mean, this will grow and shrink as it needs to. I could put a little number here on the right-hand side instead of the left. It's like a small. If the gold gets to be a lot, though. Funny because I did have this this view in my head that I'd be able to kind of knock out the autosave stuff. And as I started looking at all the setup, I realized there's so many different interwoven things around how saves work. That mean I can't just plug in the new save system. It's just for autosave. Okay. The other thing I gotta make sure I do before I forget is remove this garbage. Remove that component. And I think is that it? I think I had like a character select controller. Yeah. Oh look, an ad starts in 5 minutes. What do you know? I think maybe I just got back from vacation. You'd think I would be pretty relaxed, but I'm actually feeling a little bit gunky in my throat. So I think to save time and sanity, I think I'm going to wrap up now. I wanted to get a little bit of work done, but I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. I'm super tired, and I want to be able to just chill out the rest of my evening. I think this is a good start, though. I mean, I got started on the save thing. I didn't want to work on fishing tonight. It was too much. It's all I've been working on for the last month and a half or so. So you know how that goes. So I think it's a good time to wrap up. As my wife would say, like a tortilla. Credit. Give credit where credit's due. On the Twitches, see if we're gonna pop in somewhere. It's bow ear end. Maybe we'll just maybe I'll just leave and not raid. Hope you're able to get good night's sleep. Yeah, I get to sleep in even though it's Easter tomorrow, so I'm gonna enjoy sleeping in. I think instead of raiding, I'm just gonna wrap up. Like getting done and just going and getting ready for bed or something. So you all have the loveliest of nights, and I will be back on Tuesday. Maybe I'll have most of the fishing completely done, but that's what I'll be working on. The saving thing was just for me to work on something for funsies, but it's obviously not going to be perfect, right? So there you go. I'm just gonna wrap up. I'm just gonna wind down. You all have a lovely night, and I will be back on Tuesday. See you later, Rome. Have a good night. See you, Killboy. Everybody else. All right. Bye, y'all. See you, Sorrow.